it's time to do a bit of transplanting. It's amazing, you know, just how much of this multi-compost you can get through. I've got friends and relatives that want me to provide them with them. I don't think they really, to be honest with you, understand the cost involved. You get a bag of this Jack's Magic, you're probably going to get, I don't know, but you might get 60 of these. You might get a bit more. Yeah, no, you will get a lot more. Sorry. No, 60 of these will probably use half a bag of that, you know, which works out at well, just £2.50, we'll say, if we buy it in bulk. Yeah, so sometimes, you know, people want the cheapest price, you know, and if you sell a few like I do from home, you can't really, to be honest with you, you can't really sell them, and people want them for less than what it actually costs you to produce them. I don't think you realise. I'm going to make a note of it this year when I do a few at home, and how much it actually costs, and then when they start moaning about, oh, it's cheaper in the garden centre, well, you know, garden centre's bigger, they buy in bulk, you know, so anyway, these are personal use, what I'm doing, these Cosmos, so let's crack on. I'm thinking, shall I use, I'm not going to use my gloves, try and keep my hands clean, but at this stage you can't. So we've got a tray of Cosmos here, and these were my seed, what I picked. So there's no cost involved on the seed side. So what I'm actually doing is sticking my hand under and just gently prizing a few of these out. And that is basically what a Cosmos looks like. Okay folks, you probably spotted something straight away. They say never pick a plant by its stem. I have to say, I don't take any notice of that. I can understand the meaning behind it. I think you've got to have a gentle grip, which I have. You know, being an artist, and I've got a very a gentle grasp. I have no need to do it by the leaves. It's just a habit which is stuck with me. I've been doing this for a decade or more. Well, and then when I was a child as well, so we're probably talking of 20 years or 30 years I've been transplanting, and it's never caused me or my parents any issues, so I'm just going to carry on doing it how I'm comfortable. But if you've not got a gentle grasp, then I recommend you follow the guidelines. So all I'm doing is I'm just sticking one Cosmos in a 4-inch pot in the middle, and then I'll just water them. You'll see in past videos there's many ways of doing it, many ways of separating. You can use a label, you can use a spoon, you can use the dibber. Really, as things stand, I've got to try and cut corners at the minute, because the way my mum is, I never know when I'm going to get a phone call to get back home, and I'm only here for 2 hours at the most anyway at the minute, so I have to try and get them in with very little faffing around. We've got a deformed one here, folks. Never mind. Not one for losing out, so there you are. You can grow properly now. The root system is quite long on these Cosmos. Normally these plants would be much bigger by now, because it's been a rather cold spring. They're a bit behind. So that's it, folks, that's all done. What we've got to remember is, before I go today, these have got to be watered. Right. I'm very unconventional in some matters. You'll hear a lot of people talking about organics, and they're organic. I'm not organic. I don't class myself as organic, and I don't see how anyone on a plot outside in the elements can say they're organic. But you'll also get people saying, oh, I'm organic, and they'll go and use Jay's fluid or stuff like that, cleaning their greenhouse or things down. Now, or the pots. Now, I don't do any cleaning of my pots or trays. Nothing's cleaned. It just goes from one year to the next, and I just carry on. I just shake any surplus stuff out, and then I just fill them up. So I like to think I'm doing my little bit for the environment as well, that way. I think we all, I mean, you know, everyone's different. You'll probably may have noticed I've got slug pellets down. I have to use something. I've just had a whole tray of my, well, nearly a whole tray of my dahlias have been eaten. So I'm not going to lose out on thousands of plants grown in here through worrying about whether it's organic or not. It's, you know, it's life. Everyone's different, everyone has their ways of helping the environment, and I'm sweating so about this, folks. Oh, it's about 40 degrees in this tunnel. Right, so let's crack on. Oh, sweat, folks. Oh. I hope you enjoyed the videos yesterday, the ones with Nigel in. It's the first time I've been up to see his new plot, and it was, yeah, it certainly threw me back a bit, the size of it. It's done remarkably well, considering it's only had that second plot about 3 weeks, I think. He does love his apple trees. I'm actually going with Nigel, fingers crossed. I can't remember the exact date, I think it might be sometime in a week's time or something. I'm back to the Foxton doing their update on their orchard. So I'll be back doing a filming with Nigel there, and we're also going to be doing some more filming with the apples, with the pollinating again. We did it last year, but if you remember, this time last year I'd only just got to know Nigel. Nigel had never been used to a video camera, so everything was a bit, it wasn't so relaxed as how we've become over the past year. So maybe this year's take on them will be more interesting than last year, although I think last year's a lot of you found quite interesting. I don't know about you folks, but I do hate being against the clock and constantly thinking that you're going to have to be, you may get called out at any moment. I can imagine how people on call must feel. I mean, I do know how this has felt before, because doing computer repairs, I never knew when I was going to get a phone call. Can't believe that's 10 years ago when I started doing computer repairs. Unfortunately, very little comes my way now. Shame. Kind of losing the knack of the web design and that if you don't stick with it. So I'm going to have to find some time to play around with the latest stuff at some point. I've just done, I've had the hens out. I'm not sure whether they're going to come at the beginning of the video or at the end. I think I might put them at the end, to be honest. Or I might just have a little no, I won't have a separate video because it's not very long. I've just put them in so you can see them, and I actually gave them some a bag of corn that I was given at the Edible Garden show. So and they seemed to go mad on that. In fact, they all ran into the enclosure. I didn't need to catch any at all. I don't think I did. Oh, just one actually. But he was on his way. She was on his way. She was on her way in anyway. Keep calling them he's. Okay, folks, another lot done. I think you've seen what I'm doing. I'm going to pot up another lot here, so that'll be 30 plants. If I can do a bit each day, that'll be fine. And we've got Nigel here, so he's come at just at the right time for me to switch off. Bye all. No, you're not coming out. No, you're going to eat all your food. I just want to film you. There we are. Just look at them, folks. This is what it's all about. Yes. You stay in there, you two. Go and have something to eat. Got another 7 eggs today, folks. Look at them. These are so tame. Aren't you? You're so... No, you're not coming out. That's it. Good evening, folks. I thought we'd just give you a little update from the back garden, just to show you how it's coming on. Lots of colour here. 1, 2. I haven't really gone through it to see what's growing. I did throw a load of seed. I need to check that out, but I haven't done that. But what I wanted to do is just show you what's happening. You see all these pansies here? These were bought in the autumn show of the Melbourne show, and look how they've developed. Now this particular bed here was totally dug up by a lady. She got in and and I put everything back, and even the daffs have been good. You can see I need to cut them back now. Talking about daffodils, you'll hear lots of stories of how everyone does it. What we personally do is, the way my dad's always done it, is cut the leaves down to about 6 inches above the ground, and then just let them die back from there. Some people will tie it in a knot, fold them over. We don't. So that's that. Now just look at the end here, folks. This is the part that often gets neglected. Now just look at that. The tulips have been absolutely wonderful this year. And just look, we come round, we've got more. Polyanthers, all grown from seed. That was last year. I never did get round to doing the follow-up video from that challenge what I did, but here's some of them. And I'll come back to the bottom, and we've got these daisies. They come back year after year. I've done for the last oh, about 29 years. You can see that the apple tree, the pear tree is absolutely full of blossom. We're not sure about the plum trees this year because they were in flower when we had that really cold spell. So I'm not very hopeful about that. And what I've just done this evening, I've just planted up this with some oriental poppies, sweet rockets, and some lupins. You can see we've got oriental poppy coming up at the back there. We've lost the clematis, what was up here, that's gone. You can see the lupins here, what we put in a lot earlier, are flourishing. And also I've sprinkled with wild, I've forgotten what I've sown now. Annual mix, that's it. So and also some cornflowers have been sprinkled in all these beds, raised beds. At the back there we have got clematis which is growing back, and we've got a oriental poppy, that's a pink one in there. And not a lot happening now in this rockery. You can see that the strawberries are starting to make a comeback, fresh growth. So they're all late this year. And also if we look over here, you can see some of these are actually, there's a fine example, nice looking plant. But they're all starting to come back. So we'll have strawberries on these as well. But it's reached the time where these now need to, we need to get rid of these. We'll get some runners off and we'll start afresh. The labels have all faded. I haven't got a clue what varieties they are. That is one of the major things to learn, is that the labels go brittle, they also fade. And for some reason they've faded more than ever this year. So there you are, folks. This lot's got to be tidied up, and that's it. That's looking at our conservatory. And I'm going to leave it at that. Oh, I've got a few. You can see how the strawberries have gone better over here, which are south-facing. Look how they've grown. So what I've got some staging, which was along here. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to put it back this year because I quite like it where this table and chairs are going to be. Excuse the rubbish. It's all a work in progress again at the minute. Catch up. So that's it, folks. That's what's happening from the back garden. Thanks for watching.